Hi, I'm Ryan with the R&R Law Group, and today we're doing our aggravated DUI recap. So as we've talked about in the previous couple of days, there's 5 different ways that you can get an aggravated DUI or a felony DUI in Arizona. The first of which is if you get a DUI while your license is suspended, revoked, canceled, and again, if you recall in that one, it's whether you knew or should have known that your driver's license was suspended. And we talked about the fact that they only have to make sure that it gets put in the mail and not necessarily that you received notification that your license was suspended, but just should you have known that your license was suspended. It's a Class 4 felony. If you're convicted of that, you're going to prison for a period of 4 months. Again, that's not jail, it's prison, 4 months on that. The second way to get an aggravated DUI is if it's your third or subsequent DUI in a period of 84 months. Again, those dates are calculated from the date of the commission of the offense, not from the date of conviction. Okay, if you have 3 DUIs or if it's your third DUI within 84 months, then it's a prison sentence of 4 months. And if it's your 4th or more DUI within the past 84 months, then it's a prison sentence of 8 months before you then start probation and move on from there. The third way that you can get a DUI in Arizona, or an aggravated DUI in Arizona, is if you have a DUI and you have a passenger in your vehicle who is under the age of 15. Again, that's 14 years old or younger, and there's an aggravated a DUI alleged as well. Then this particular aggravated DUI, only one of all 5 of them, is a Class 6 felony. And again, that's can be even more specialized when you're thinking about your strategy and whether or not you're going to take this to trial, because if you take it to trial and lose, you still have the ability for the judge to make it a misdemeanor at the end of the day. Again, that can really help with negotiations depending upon the individual facts and circumstances of your case. So again, that's a Class 6 felony, and that requires jail time if you're convicted of that, not prison time. The next one is if you are required to have the ignition interlock installed in your vehicle. And again, this does not mean that you get caught driving your vehicle or you get caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock in it. That applies. But if you are driving your vehicle and you have the ignition interlock in your vehicle, but you get a marijuana DUI, or maybe you had somebody else blow to get it started, then you're going to still have that restriction on your driver's license, which means that you're still going to fall under this category for an aggravated DUI. Again, this one's a little bit different than the other 3 that are Class 4 felonies, because in this one it requires jail time. It doesn't require prison time up front before you serve probation. But it is still a Class 4 felony, which, as we discussed, is kind of that middle range of felonies that are charged in Arizona. Lastly, we get our newer one, or our newest aggravated DUI. And as we discussed, this was in response to the many wrong-way drivers that we had on our highways here in Arizona, some of the crashes that occurred, some of the fatalities that occurred. What happens now is that if you are driving the wrong way on a highway, and again, that's important that it's the highway, and you are arrested for a DUI, then you can get charged with this Class 4 felony. It carries the 4-month prison sentence before you start probation. But again, the other 2 circumstances on that doesn't mean that you're just crossing into the median, and it doesn't mean that if there was an accident that was involved in which your car ended up facing the wrong way, that doesn't count. That's not in under this statute. But all of these are very serious charges. These are what raise the level of a DUI up to a felony DUI. So you want to make sure that you get a solid team on your defense. You want to be able to get the best possible outcome for you, and that requires being able to look through each of your individual facts, your circumstances, being able to figure out where you fall in this spectrum, if the state can prove those elements against you, and where your case is at. So if you or a loved one's been charged with an aggravated DUI, make sure you call our office so that you can sit down, we can discuss your options.